कभी सोचा है कि आपकी एनर्जी, आपका ऑरा, how it helps you to connect deeper with people? Would you like to learn how? That's exactly what we're going to be sharing in the next few minutes. So stay tuned in. This is Dr. Gopika Kumar, a communication and a mindset coach. Let's begin with this aura setting in your environment right away. So this is a concept that we are going to talk about here in this video, which is how do we develop a body aura which can help you to attract the people in your life that you'd like to get connected with your energy. Now imagine yourself, with your physical standing, imagine yourself with many concentric circles around you, literally like a Buddha. Now somebody who's like a Buddha and you have multiple concentric circles around, they are basically circles of what we call as energy. If I was to explain this in simple words, I would say that it is the power, it is the vibration, it is the level of consciousness that a Buddha is able to transfer from his or her life to the life of others. And the bigger the halo, the bigger is the aura, the bigger is the energy, the bigger is the universe and the kind of people who want to get connected with this identity whom we are referring to as the Buddha. I want you to imagine yourself at the midst of this concentric circle. Now imagine yourself sending out the energy. Now the energy in the universe, how you communicate, is not through words spoken, by the way. The energy that you communicate is the energy and the vibration and the frequency that we call, because of which people start getting attracted to your aura. But then how do we develop this aura? That's the real question, isn't it, Gopika? Yes, and that's exactly what we are going to learn here today, which is how to develop this magnetic aura around you. Now, one of the most beautiful ways, and I'm going to share that with an experience with you all, is a story that relates really back into my times when I was in my college days, sitting with one of my friends, having my chai and my samosa, and this was one of our canteens as I was in NIFT, Delhi. While I was having my chai and my samosa, I saw my friend smiling across at another person, at a distance. And this was a canteen area, so it was really, full of a lot of people. There was a lot of chaos. It wasn't like as easy as that one person has entered in, so, my friend smiled. No, not at all. It was a place which was very chaotic, and I was very surprised because I also ended up looking at the same person. And I said that, whom are you smiling at? She's like, I don't know. I was like, what do you mean you don't know? She said, I don't know. Maybe that's a person, who felt like saying a hi and was smiling back at me. I said, why was he smiling back at you? And, with those mushy eyes, and I was questioning her during my college days that why was he looking back at you? She's like, I don't know. I said, but I'm sitting right next to you. Why did he not bother to smile back at me? Now, had I probably, mustered myself more on this question, she immediately came back with a very instant response, which shook me at that very moment, and I still remember it till date. She said, I don't know, maybe you did not send out the right vibe, what we refer to as the vibe of a person. I said, what do you mean by this? I was like, so were you smiling? She's like, yes. When that person looked at me, I was smiling back at the person. And maybe you weren't sending out the right frequency, the right vibration, the right vibe, the right aura to that person, because of which you were not able to receive it back. I was a little, disappointed with that reply, because it was definitely raising her up in my eyes, but it was also at the same time making me realize that what did I do wrong? I mean, I was just having a one-to-one conversation with my friend. But this also put me into a very deep, intriguing question at the same time, which is, what was the power of that energy? What was the power of your body energy, the language which you were able to communicate through a distance? And all you needed to carry were those expressions. All you needed to carry was that smile. All you needed to carry was the right attitude to smile back at a person who could be smiling at you. How difficult can that be? Is where I started to realize that to tap into the communication that we want to have with the outside world, but first, without saying those words out, the first thing to do here is to really connect through the messages that we are sending out through our aura, through our energy. And that can simply be showed across through our facial expressions, through a smile, through the energy on our shoulders, just showing a nod back to the person. I refer to this as a very, very simple technique, and I'm going to give you an acronym for the same. So make a note of this, and I'm sure you're going to fall in love with this. So the moment you want to create the right energy and aura for yourself in this space to communicate with the world, use what we call as soften technique, which is SOFTEN, which really stands for S for smile. So smile back to whoever is looking at you. It could be a security guard, it could be a friend. Smile back at them. O for having an open posture, which means my hands are open. I'm not keeping them in a closed direction so that nobody feels that I'm not going to allow them access into my territory. That's just about one of the simplest ways of communicating out with the world. The F in the soften stands for show a forward lean rather than a backward lean. When you show a forward lean, it shows your simple interest. Even if you couldn't be interested later on, but at that moment, just giving that acknowledgement, giving that state of respect is your forward lean. The T in the soften stands for your tone of voice, which can be heard across miles, which means your tonality, your voice, which you're speaking to another person, but the energy can be felt miles apart as well. That is your soften, the tone of voice, and the E stands for an eye contact. Now that interaction would have been incomplete if the eye contact was not maintained, because the moment the eye contact is maintained is where the rest of it really falls into place. And the N stands for a nod. So you're looking at somebody, all you need to do is, without even agreeing or saying a word, showcase your agreement of your openness, that you are giving an access into your territory. Is how simply you can reach out with your communication to the world. Do share on how you'd really liked watching this piece of the video back with us. It'll really help us to improve upon and deliver many such value-worth videos as well. Please remember to press the like button if you really liked the video. Subscribe to our channel if you haven't done that so far. Please share it with your friends. Would love to have you being shared that with your friends as well. Stay connected. Until then, until I see you next, this is Dr. Gopika Kumar signing.